What's up everybody, BCawk here, and welcome to my Zyra tutorial. Zyra is an ability power mage with a lot of utility, and with all of her skill shot abilities it can be pretty hard to adjust to using her. But hopefully by the end of this tutorial I can give you guys enough insight in her moves and all of her abilities to make you guys a pro by the end. First off, let's start with her abilities. Zyra's Q is a skill shot AoE nuke that has a short channel time before doing damage. It has moderate range, however, it is your main poke tool in lane. If you use this skill on top of her W ability, it will sprout a plant that does substantial damage. Max this ability first, but because of its moderate range, don't go too far in your lane to try to use it to harass and take a bunch of damage because of it. Zyra's W is Rampant Growth. This ability is free to cast and is always smart casted, meaning once you press W, wherever your cursor is, your W will be planted. This ability can give you vision in the fog of war, however if an enemy steps on your W, it will break and it will give vision of that opponent for several seconds. If you cast any of her other basic abilities on top of where a W is already planted, they will create a plant that will attack your opponents. Her E is called Grasping Roots. This ability does damage in a line as well as snaring both champions and minions it hits. This ability is great because no matter how many people it passes through, the snare and damage always stays the same. If you use this ability on Rampant Growth, it will turn into an attacking plant that will slow enemies it hits. Be wary when trying to hit an enemy that is far away from this ability, as the particle for this ability is very slow and easy to dodge. Her ultimate is Strangle Thorns, a great AoE ultimate that affects a large area. It does a large amount of damage, as well as after a short delay, knocks up and slows all enemies that are still over the affected area. If Strangle Thorns is touching any of your plants, it will increase their attack speed by 50% while the ability is still on the battlefield. Be aware that even though all damage from Strangle Thorns is done at the beginning of the ability, the knockup takes a few seconds, and that makes it possible for enemies to escape from it still. And finally, her passive is Rise of Thorns. Once Zyra dies, she turns into a plant that can shoot a line nuke that does true damage to her enemies. Although this ability does great true damage, it only scales with your level, not with your ability power. Also, you have to die to be able to use it, and dying is never something you want to have to do. Let's talk about Zyra in lane. Of course, as an AP carry, your highest priority is to farm up and get stronger for late game. However, your other objective is to stop the opposing team's middle from doing the same. Try to harass with your Q in conjunction with your W. This way your plants can get some extra free damage and you can stay out of their range while doing so. Also, save your E for kill opportunities as well as for escaping for ganks. Early game, never use your E to farm. Early game as Zyra, you should always be using your W ability, whether it be to gain vision on the side of your lane to avoid ganks or to farm friendly or enemy jungle camps. You should always be using your Rampant Growths to give you an edge against your lane opponent that they themselves cannot achieve. Farming raids and wolves could always give you that little edge against your opponent, whether that be a Doran's Ring or a ward that can actually win you the lane. Always, always, always as a mid lane, if you are doing well against your opponent and your lane's pushed, you can always look for a gank. Be aware of what lanes have wards where by talking to your teammates, but if they're behind or if they're doing well, either the case, you can always go to their lane and try to net another kill for yourself or your teammate, putting your team even further in the lead. Or, if you're not in the lead, bringing your team a little bit closer to winning the game. Because Zyra has so much CC, she's one of the middle lanes that strives at ganking other lanes, so always try to hopefully win your lane and then help out your teammates if possible. Early in mid game, it's very important to stay safe, and that is why previously I said to never use your E early game. However, once you level up your E ability a little bit more, as well as get some more ability power, using your E to farm is actually a very viable thing. Using E and Q in conjunction with each other on a creep lane can normally clear them out in one go, netting you a lot of gold and getting you pretty far ahead. Team fighting for Zyra is all about correct positioning as well as trying to lock down high priority opponents. Keep yourself safer towards the back of the team fight while trying to use your E and ultimate to lock up all or most of the enemy team, nuking down both those AD carries as well as AP carries before they themselves can do any damage to you or your team. Always try to take the advantage and take out an AD carry or an AP carry before a team fight starts, turning the team fight into your favor and making it a 4v5. For items on Zyra, start with boots and 3 health potions. From there, build 2 Doran's rings for early game dominance and then finish off your level 2 boots. Then rush for your death cap to do as much damage as possible. Next, build your Rylai's Crystal Scepter, as the slow applies on your plant's auto attacks and the item itself just makes you more tanky. Next, build either a Zhonya's Hourglass or a Void Staff, depending if the enemy is building magic resistance or not. For runes, I choose to use Magic Pen Reds, Ability Power Quints, Magic Resistance Blues, as well as Mana Regen per level Yellows. These runes are designed to help me win the lane early and mid game and try to snowball into the later end of the game. For masteries, it's a standard 2109 with all the offensive ability masteries, as well as increased buff duration and utility. And that's pretty much it, guys. I want to thank all of you for watching my Zyra tutorial. It means a lot. Go ahead, comment, like, and subscribe if you'd like to. I'm going to throw in a little kill compilation at the end here with some music attached to it, so stick around for that. Thank you guys again for tuning in to the Leadcast. You're all really great. This is BCawk, and you guys have a great rest of your day or weekend or whatever it is. Peace.